It's time for your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your afternoon forecast update for the state. And we've got a pretty chilly day happening across the northern part of the state as we've had showers move through earlier, but some lingering cloud cover and cold air moving in behind the front has kept it pretty chilly out there, and kind of a winter feeling day, I would say. Towards the south, it's been a little bit warmer, and the showers are continuing to move through the southern part of the state. I've got a little bit of a heavier shower activity in southeastern Alabama than we thought we were going to get, so that's definitely good as far as the drought is concerned, but still not big totals or anything like that. It looks like the showers are starting to diminish a little bit. We are starting to get a little bit of clearing in the northwestern part of the state, at least at the lower levels, but some high clouds still streaming in there as well. Looking at our rain totals in the past 24 hours, so a few places have gotten a little bit. Hamilton actually has gotten 0.85 inches, so getting close to an inch there. Most places, though, getting only close to a quarter of an inch. Tuscaloosa there at 0.18 inches. Coleman a little bit over half inch. Birmingham sitting at 6/10 there. Huntsville almost a quarter of an inch. Further to the south, we're looking at 6-7 or so, maybe 0.14 in Geneva. So again, it's kind of a mixed bag, but overall, we're not looking at big totals, and we weren't expecting big totals with today. That's what we're expecting more for as we get into tomorrow night and into Tuesday morning. Here's rain totals from our sky watchers. Stephen, Mizell, and Hayden getting close to a half inch, 0.42 inches so far today. Forrest Douglas and Quentin to 0.36. Bud Bean in Northport, 0.23 inches. And Cooper Richards and Rock Creek got to 0.8. Matt Nicholson in Oxford, barely above a trace, just at 0.2 of an inch. And again, that's pretty representative of what we've been seeing across the state. With the cold air coming in and with the moisture in place, we've definitely seen our visibility start to drop and the cloud ceiling starting to drop as well. So we're getting visibility a good bit lower. Only 1 mile visibility in Birmingham, 3 mile in Coleman. Looks like we're down to 5 mile in Eufaula. So some places are still fine, but there are some places starting to see some fog develop there, and especially the northern and kind of eastern side of the state. No dense fog advisories at this point. We'll see if they continue that, if it will monitor that and let you know if there has been any change in that. Looking at our Skycam network, you see Florence is 40 degrees there, and again, overcast skies, although we're starting to see a little bit of that low-level clearing, I think, to the right side of the camera there. 35 degrees for the dew point, and the winds have turned out of the north. As we move to Russellville, similar scene here where we're starting to see a little bit of clearing on the left-hand side of the screen there. It's 41 degrees there, and again, we're getting a northwesterly breeze as the sun's starting to go down. The color's looking good there. Hatton, same thing. We're starting to see a little bit more breaks in the clouds, but still some low clouds around here and there. It's 39 degrees there, so it's pretty chilly. Again, like we said, behind the front where it's rained earlier this morning and then it's just been kind of cold air moving in and clouds, it's pretty chilly, pretty raw day out there. Coleman would be included in that as well. 43 degrees there as the Ferris wheel is spinning there at the Chris Kendall Market. Dew points are still in the 40s there. Winds occasionally gusting up 15 miles per hour or so that'll make it feel a little bit chillier. And then in Hoover, it's 47 degrees, and you can see they definitely see the low ceilings there, where we got that lower visibility in the Birmingham metro, like we saw on the report earlier. 47 degree dew points. Again, you see those dew point temperature whenever those are right there next to each other. That's where you get some fog happening. As we look in Tuscaloosa, it's 48 degrees there. We have some fairly low clouds across the campus of the University of Alabama as well. And as we move down to East Chilton County, a few showers have been hanging around here. We've got some water, got some rain on the lens there, some low clouds. It's 50 degrees there in Chilton County. And as we move further towards the south, Dozier, again, we're getting to the point now where you can't hardly see anything. And Dozier, with the low visibility, is 55 degrees there for the temperature and the dew point. And there's been some rain falling at times in Dozier as well. Abbeville, we're at 53 degrees there, and again, you can see some very low clouds, and looks like some rain falling in the area there in Abbeville as well. And then as we move all the way down further to the coast, looking across the bay, looks nice. It's been a pretty nice day around the coast. 66 degrees in Spanish Fort. Haven't seen any much in the way of rainfall at this point. And as we look at the beach, at Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, it's beautiful there, looking back towards the west. The sunset starting to gear up there, and it's 67 degrees there. So again, along the beach, and it's it's been pretty nice. Now, one thing I will mention with the beach is, especially in the Western Florida Panhandle beaches, the rip currents and the surf has been a little bit higher than expected. So the Weather Service has gone ahead and issued a rip current statement for those beaches, not for the Alabama beaches yet. However, it's looking like that's probably going to happen sometime tomorrow, that they'll issue some of those, because rip current risk will be more pronounced as we get into tomorrow and Tuesday for the Alabama beaches. But for right now, that's still basically extending from the state line over towards Destin and Fort Walton. Temperatures right now, it's kind of a big contrast across the state. We're at 44 in Florence, 41 in Hamilton. As you move to the south, it gets a little bit warmer, but still fairly chilly in central Alabama, upper 40s, low 50s. But then far southern Alabama, where there's been a little bit more sunshine and a little bit less rain, and you're south of the front, it's 62 in Dothan, 72 in Gulf Shores at the official airport reading, 65 degrees in Mobile. Forecast lows for tonight, a similar kind of deal. The front should stall and not make it all the way through the state. So we expect we'll stay a little bit warmer south of that front, with lows only in the upper 40s, low 50s. North of that front, it's going to get cold. We're expecting to get down in the 20s in some spots in North Alabama, 28 in Coleman, 27 in Hamilton. Could be approaching freezing in places like Birmingham, 35 degrees, and 34 in Anniston. So again, pretty cold to the north of the front, and then as it kind of stalls out a little bit warmer to the south. And it will be a similar story as for the forecast highs for tomorrow too, because the front will start to lift back up to the north as our next system starts to move in. So places below there, we'll see highs into the 60s and maybe around 70 degrees, but to the north of it, it'll still stay fairly chilly with highs in the 40s and into the 50s in North Alabama. So again, here's what we're watching for the next couple of days in the coming week. Showers today to the south at this point. They've moved through North Alabama, so showers are just basically confined to the southern part of the state. Cold and getting a little bit breezy to the north, and still fairly cloudy over most of North Alabama. And then the next round of rain comes Monday night into Tuesday. This is going to be more significant rainfall, and we could see some thunderstorms, especially close to the Gulf Coast. And then we expect to dry out for a little bit Wednesday and parts of Thursday, although we might see some rain try to sneak back in Thursday in the southern part of the state. Here's your future cast. Again, we got some showers lingering around in the southern part of the state with temperatures in the 60s and 70s. North part of the state, northerly flow already, 40s, starting to see some clearing up there, and we'll see it clear out a little bit more as we get further into the evening. Again, a few lingering showers still possible on the 5920 corridor. It's not necessarily over yet as far as drizzle and things like that. And really, as that front sort of stalls, we'll still see some showers, isolated shower or two probably overnight and into early tomorrow morning. Still expecting to be clear and kind of cold in the northern part of the state tomorrow morning, a little bit milder towards the south. Then that warm front starts to lift back up ahead of this system, and we see a fairly widespread showers and rain starting to come in as we get into tomorrow afternoon. So a couple different batches, kind of more to the north and then one more to the south. And as we put further into motion, as we get into Monday evening, that's where we really start to see some heavy rains set up in areas of kind of south central Alabama. The model's been pretty consistent, showing a fairly heavy band of rain in that area. And so again, that will be some beneficial rainfall. And it's certainly possible as you get further, really kind of right there against the coast, that we could see enough instability for some thunderstorms. And so we'll be watching that. We're not expecting severe weather. There could be, again, a few thunderstorms. Might see a strong storm or two if the ingredients hit just right, but at this point, mainly just looks like beneficial rain and really cold rain across the northern part of the state. Maybe not as much cold rain in the southern part of the state, but fairly cold rain in the northern part of the state, where temperatures will be hanging in the 40s and maybe even upper 30s over parts of the time when the rain is falling. Now, by Tuesday morning, things we get the rain through mainly early Tuesday morning and out by the time people are heading to work and school, but it will be another raw day with clouds, low temperatures, breezy conditions on Tuesday behind that front. And so it'll be another kind of winter-like raw day, but just not having any rain around at that point. And then Wednesday morning looks cold. And then Wednesday during the day will be dry. But then as we get into Thursday, might start to see a few showers trying to creep back in as we get into Thursday, but still expecting most of the day to be dry. Rainfall outlook today and through this next Saturday is looking pretty wet at this point, so especially the southern part of the state. 3-4 inches are possible. That's going to include any of the leftover rain today, the event Monday night into Tuesday, and then we have another rain event that we're expecting kind of in the Friday, Saturday timeframe of this coming week, late week and weekend. Further to the north, we'll get a little bit less totals, but still most of the state, or really all of the state, we're expecting to get over an inch of rain over the next week, which again will certainly be good to see. All right, since today is a big travel day, and you still might have some travel plans later on this afternoon and evening, we're looking at the airport delays. Most of the country looking good, but you do have some lingering snow in the northeast, and looks like LaGuardia and in Boston, they're seeing some moderate delays at this point at the Logan Airport in Boston. But outside of that, it's looking pretty good. As far as local sort of travel is concerned with any of the road travel that you might have going on. Again, some wet roads still could linger into the evening and nighttime hours as we move through kind of the southern part of the state, but things should be kind of drying out in the northern part of the state. So again, any issues would be mainly just some slick roads there in the southern part of the state. All right, here's your 7-day forecast for northern Alabama. So as we move into tomorrow, we're looking at that high chance of rain in the afternoon, the evening and nighttime period, and into kind of early Tuesday morning, and then clearing out over the course of the day on Tuesday. Really cold Wednesday morning, lows getting down in the 20s in many spots, although a dry day on Wednesday, moderating back into the 50s. Thursday should be mostly dry in North Alabama, and then your rain chances come back on Friday and Saturday. We expect to be clearing back out most likely on Sunday at this point. And then for southern Alabama, again, we expect a big chance of rain, possibly some thunderstorms mixed in as well for Monday afternoon, evening, and through the night and through the overnight period into Tuesday morning. Takes a little bit longer for the rain to clear in South Alabama, but still most of Tuesday should be dry after the rain and thunderstorms move through. Again, it should be fairly chilly Wednesday morning there, but otherwise dry. Thursday, a little bit better chance of some showers creeping back in South Alabama, but still a good bit of the day should be dry and spots should stay dry generally. But Friday and Saturday, again, next looks like fairly big chance of rain there, and we'll see how much rain we can get out of that one before we dry out again on Sunday. That is your Alabama forecast update. We appreciate you watching us here on the Alabama Weather Network.